Hey. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Snark Tank podcast. It is us, your hosts, Chris Reagan, Derek Blackman, Tom Sweeney. I'm bummed out beyond belief. For obvious reasons, I think anybody who's watching the episode kind of has an idea of based on what we're wearing. But Akira Toriyama, we apparently killed him. We didn't mean to. We mentioned him on the last episode of, we went into a long conversation about Dragon Ball, and just so happened to be that episode just so happened to go live the day that we found out that he died. I was streaming live on Twitch when I found out, and it ruined. I was just silent for like 10 minutes, and then I just ended this. I was like, this hit me a lot harder than I expected. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, it hit me extra hard when I looked into it, because, there was a couple of people saying, you guys did it. This always happens. You guys, it's your curse. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. But then I wanted to look more into his death, what happened, and he left a note behind.
Right.
And he said, my favorite podcast, the Snark Tank, really broke my heart. I thought the best thing I have ever written to date was Dragon Ball Super. And I thought my most brilliant idea was Ultra Instinct. I can no longer be a part of this plane of existence. I leave behind a legacy, but I can't go on any further.
Right.
Peace out, my niggas. And then he
literally flew into the sun.
Yeah, he actually. Yeah. It turns out he was actually a Saiyan. That's where he got the idea from.
Yeah,
it was pretty. That he just flew into the sun because he was like, "I'm done." My favorite podcast, the Snark Tank.
Yeah,
like who would have thought?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah. Happy birthday, by the way, Derek.
Oh. Yeah. I found out on my fucking birthday that the GOAT of manga, in my opinion, right? Not the most best written shit, like shut the fuck up, but at least the most influential and the one that I care about the most, any anime show that I care about the most, the GOAT. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm fucking,
yeah.
I'm on Twitter before I go to bed. I was playing Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen, preparing for the new shit. Forgot how fun that game is. And, I was like, are you I just stayed, I slept like 3 hours because I was just like, I don't feel like, it's not good. You don't go to bed on that right away. Like, someone I really respect died. I'm going to go to sleep now.
Yeah, it's what I was already having a terrible 2 weeks. So this was not a great, cap off to really any of it. But like, man, yeah, I mean, like you said, just, I really, seeing the outpouring of support on Twitter from like every corner of the unit, like people that have almost no business talking about it. I took a break from Twitter, and I had to make an exception just to say something because it was that fucking wild and easily probably like one of the most influential people ever. I think it's kind of insane. And like
culture?
The sheer
I would go as far as to say he's the most influential Japanese person of all time. I feel like that's not a reach. Actually,
you might be right, but then at the
it's him or Godzilla from Japan. The two most influential beings from Japan are him and Godzilla. It's a wild statement.
Godzilla. I was trying to think of maybe like somebody.
It's a wild statement.
Someone who changed the way like warfare, or I was trying to think of something that really changed the direction of history. I was trying to go back. This guy.
It's Musashi. It's Musashi. It's Godzilla. Akira Toriyama. Those are the three most influential characters.
You say that?
So you're talking about the nigga that wrote the Book of Five Rings? Are you talking about that one?
Yes.
Or are you talking? Okay.
So you say that, right? And you say you say he might be the most influential Japanese man that's ever existed. And that sounds crazy, but I also don't necessarily feel like it's wrong.
I don't. Especially in the modern world, 100%. I think it's him.
In modern, I feel like that's easy to say. I think that it's easy to say modern. You might say Oda, somebody
literally
associated with Oda.
Yeah, they got to be One Piece.
Okay, I thought.
That is kind of tied into. That's kind of the thing. That's like folded into
it's literally him, then Oda. Those are the two most like influential people from
Oda, but Oda is that's kind of the thing. It's like that. It all stems from him. That's what's crazy about Akira Toriyama. He was like the shepherd.
I wouldn't say it all stems from him, but the reason it got popular here is because of him. Without him stepping out first, making all those art designs, because when it comes to design from Japanese characters, there's that dude that did all the Final Fantasy designs. I forgot his name. The one that also did Vampire Hunter D. There's that dude who's an icon in design, and then there's literally Toriyama. Those are the most like.
But here's the big difference. I don't know those other niggas.
You'd know his art. You would know his art 100%, but you wouldn't know his name.
Sure. It's just like, say, a lot of people know the art of, like, there's a lot of comic book artists, right? There's, like, a Jim Lee. There's people, they'll know some people that are, but they don't really know them. Like, you have to be into it.
You're right.
Yeah, so, but, like, Akira Toriyama, I feel like anyone who's watched anime at all,
it's Dragon
Ball.
It's literally, dude.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball, like Chrono Trigger, Dragon Quest, various mangas, his show, the freaking show about that little alien nigga that shows up in Dragon Ball Super. That was a whole manga before Dragon Ball was a manga. And then there's Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super. There's just he's done so
Dragon
much.
Ball is easily just by far. There's nothing that comes even close. Like if you go to like third world countries and everywhere around the world, a lot of those dudes are like One Piece. I don't care. Like, yeah, I've heard of One Piece.
Dragon Ball's all the way up here, and then One Piece is like here.
It's just the gap is so large. Just like say, who's the most followed, the second most followed person on YouTube? The gap is so yeah. So it's nuts, man.
Yeah,
the cartel,
it's crazy.
If you could tell a cartel member will spare you if you bring up Goku. That's how crazy it is. Wait. He's about to chop up. Would Goku like this? And he's just like,
Did you see the I love all the tweets going around and going like, check on your Latino friends or whatever. It's so fun. And it's totally real. Like
it hit me like to make sure she was fine. I was like, hey, Smoke,
it hit me like a fucking. It really hit me like a ton of bricks, man. Like it was crazy because I just thought back to like, man, this dude's art is like plastered indefinitely, like in my memory of my childhood. Like actually,
100%.
Like I do not have a childhood without that art being like very, very prevalent. Like more so than probably any other kind of art. I think. Yeah. Like actually, like every kid in the 2000s tried to fucking go Super Saiyan like a retard. They tried to do like the Kamehameha. They thought maybe if I do this, maybe something will happen. And it's crazy. I had posters. I played those games endlessly. It was like one of the rare. My parents had like a VHS collection, an extensive VHS collection of like Disney stuff. And like just other movies and that's that was our VHS collection. But like I remember the only VHSs that I ever went out and got with my own money were these Dragon Ball Z sets, where like the other side of the VHS had like art on them, and you could like make this whole like picture.
Right.
And, like I went out of my way to get those, and I don't know. It's crazy. I've fallen off of anime in like a large. By like a large degree.
Yeah, because you're
since
a normally functioning male adult for the most part. I understand.
For the most part.
Yeah.
But like yeah, dude. It
is nuts. Like when you talked about like kind of some memorabilia or things like say posters and stuff, I remember actually thinking I had almost like a portal to the future since I knew when America would get the dub version of Dragon Ball Z, it was so fucking delayed. Right, to the point where if I'd go to Frankensons as a kid, there would be stuff available there that you would have no idea. It was like huge spoilers because you didn't know. When I got a poster that had Krillin having hair well before he stopped shaving his head. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Because me, just like anyone else, we all just thought he was just fucking bald. Like, we didn't know he actually could grow hair.
Wait, how long
Bro,
I'm confused, right? Because for me,
yeah, go ahead.
Dragon Ball always exists. Like how do I explain it? I may have watched Dragon Ball at one time, but it existed so well before me that I understood, like, oh yeah, I may be watching this now, but this is way further than I'm care. Because I feel like I was watching GT and Dragon Ball Z simultaneously at times.
That is insane.
Really?
I had no concept of GT at all.
No,
I remember watching. I remember playing Dragon Ball GT Final Bout on the PS1 in like 1999 or like 2000 or something, before I had even seen the show or like knew anything about it. It was Budokai that got me into it. I went over to a friend's house and he was playing this fighting game, and I thought, like, what the hell is this? This is cool, whatever this is. And it's like, oh, it's a fighting game based on the show. And I was like, a show? Huh? And it was I remember the first game, the first game I got for the PS2, and the first, like, I got a PS2 for Christmas or my birthday, and I remember it was Budokai because I asked for it relentlessly. And I spent so much time playing that game, and Budokai 2 and Budokai 3 and Budokai Tenkaichi, to the point where, like, I don't know if I would be as into video games as I am without those games, like, sincerely.
Interesting.
It is fucking crazy.
Guys,
like
the
Budokai is the game I remember seeing, right?
I gotta see when the American dub. Let's see, because the series premiered in Japan GT in '96, the beginning of '96, which is like wild. So
that's why for me, like, I don't know. I guess my uncle was a nerd too, so I always kind of knew there was other because like I would watch, because for me, I would watch Dragon Ball and, like, after school I'd come home and then it'd go up to a certain point, then it'd restart, and I'd be like, damn.
That was like sucks. Toonami? You're talking about Toonami?
Yeah, I'm like, damn,
that
this
shit
really
was
sucks.
the fucking worst, man. That shit was...
You know how many times I got to just before the point Gohan went Super Saiyan 2, and it just restarted again.
And
I was like,
yo,
just show. I know he goes Super Saiyan 2. I saw it in the book. Let me just see him do it. And for years. Because I remember I fully watched Dragon Ball from start to finish when I was like a ninth grader. I was a ninth grader. My friend had all the DVDs, and that summer we watched all of Dragon Ball Z. So I knew all about the series. Like, all right, cool, I finally finished it. But I kept seeing bits and pieces. I saw like Goku and Vegeta. I also got YouTube around that time as well too. So I saw Goku and Vegeta fuse. I saw the movies, and I was like, all right, cool. I know the whole series, but I never sat down and watched it piece by piece by piece by piece.
Right.
And eventually I was like, all right, cool. I watched this whole thing. I know what's going on. I get it. But as a kid, I was like, I'd watch it. I would see the face off. The classic episode where Toonami would skip would be the face off where Vegeta and Goku, not Vegeta and Goku, Frieza and Goku are like standing at each other. And then it does a thing where it cuts to Frieza's like face looking at him, and then Goku looking at him, and then it would restart all the time on Toonami. And I remember being so full of hate every time I got to that point.
You know what pissed me off about that? They probably wouldn't have had to do that if they just did it a weekly episode, like most television shows were, but they ran it throughout the week. They would do they would do multiple episodes a week, and so then they had to restart it, and so it felt fucking awful instead of just like anything else. Where I'll fucking watch for the new episode on a weekly basis. We could have done that, but whatever.
But it was dope as hell getting a new episode of Dragon Ball Z.
It felt pretty amazing at the week.
That was like at the time. I remember even at the time that was wild because like my perception of shows was like, yeah, once a week for like maybe 2 months.
I didn't understand new shows like personally.
That.
I didn't.
I was like, things continue sometimes. I guess SpongeBob does it.
No, that was the thing. That was the thing for me too, where it's like I didn't really like at the time. I didn't really grasp serialized cartoons because like a lot of the cartoons that I would watch, like Courage the Cowardly Dog or like whatever, like there was no continuity to it. It would just it would beginning, middle, and end, and then there were just new scenarios. And then I remember seeing one episode of Dragon Ball Z. Like I don't remember exactly what episode it was, but I remember it's like, oh, that was cool. And then the next one continued it, and I was like, what?
On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
On the next, that guy, that fucking guy, on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Is that fool still alive? Well, is he alive? He has to still be alive.
No
right?
way. No way. That guy was like 60.
I mean, he sounded like he was old as shit, but you never know. Sometimes voice actors will surprise the fuck out of you. You're like, oh, this dude was like fucking 20 when he was doing this.
He was like 7. That was a 7-year-old doing that.
On the next.
The best compliment, really truly the best compliment that I can pay to that show is that it almost refuses to not be iconic. Like, there's really nothing that you can do to it that mitigates it. Yeah. Like, even like when they brought it to America and they were like, hey, all right, listen, we're gonna get Bruce Falconer in here and we're gonna like fill it with music that wasn't there, and we're gonna like get rid of the Japanese score. Still fucking iconic, arguably like crazy good. And then we're gonna like we're gonna do all of these different dubs. Even the shitty Ocean dub is iconic. We're gonna have there's a parody abridged version, and it's like, that's iconic. It like refuses to not be great. Like, no matter, it's what I've never seen anything like it really to this day in anything. Like, if you took the soundtrack out of like Game of Thrones and like replaced it with some new soundtrack, everybody would be like, what the fuck? The fuck is this?
This is fucking absurd. Yeah.
They'd be like, why? They'd be like, why? They'd just be like, dude, why'd you do that?
It's to the point where what's it called? The House of the Dragons or whatever the fuck it's called? They just use the same fucking theme song. They're just
the same opening, literally the same fucking opening.
It in there.
Exactly.
They were like, this is good, right? Like, yeah, let's just use it. No point.
To be honest, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that at all.
You thought they were going to change it?
It is the same world, but it's a different show, so I was not expecting that. That shit was funny.
It is wild that they did that, but like, dude, like every bit of music that's like, even when they put, we have some questions about the music too going in, but we'll get to, there's some people who wrote in about Akira Toriyama, and it's fair that we get to them, but like,
for sure.
Even just like Dragon, what the Dragon, like Chala, Head Chala, and fucking the Bruce Falconer themes and the Japanese themes, like, it's all so good.
Yeah,
everything associated with it. And it's wild. Like, we lost a legend, I think.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that it happened during the State of the Union too, because no one gave a fuck about what Joe Biden had to say. Like, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't care. It's an election year. I couldn't give less of a fuck what he had to say.
I didn't watch it. I feel really bad I didn't watch it.
So the interesting thing is there was notes. I had notes before it happened. The key points that he was gonna focus on. And so I was like, okay, whatever. Because I just kind of knew. I don't really give a fuck about what Sleepy Joe was going to say. And especially because I know it's not going to be what I'm looking for. Like, hey, ceasefire. Instead of like, we need to get some food over there because, they're starving. Like, fuck you,
I believe in you, the American people.
You.
It's like, okay, cool.
You.
All right, whatever.
Fuck you. I can't believe in this day and age we're just letting this shit still happen. It fucking blows my mind. So, like, I don't know. I'm tired of that nigga.
But have you guys, we'll get into some questions too, but like, I don't know, man, have you ever seen like this degree? Like, I feel like the closest, this degree of outpouring, I feel like the closest thing that I can remember that's adjacent to this was when Michael Jackson died, and like everybody that I knew was talking about it. Like, but that was before like Twitter, really. Like, it was early Twitter, and it had no real relevance. But like, I can't think of a person who's died, like a big celebrity who's died recently, where every fucking like politicians and fucking heads of state of like there's that person in China
everyone loves Dragon Ball.
Crazy.
It's Dragon Ball Z, man. Everyone
it has something for everybody, especially a lot of people who don't like the mindless fucking retarded power levels and all that stuff. They'll even defer to the OG Dragon Ball series, where it was very like adventurous and comedy heavy. And like, it's just it really has something for fucking everybody, like, really. And
like I like
even that by the way, can I say that too, by the way? It's like you start a series off and it's like a comedy about a martial arts comedy about this kid going around having wacky adventures, and then you jump the shark so drastically and everyone is on board. He's an alien, actually, and this is his brother. And also, like, there's like the degree, but the orders of magnitude that the show shifted the second it got into Z is crazy. And to be able to do that and to maintain a show and still be like, arguably, I mean, I don't even think it's arguable. I think Dragon Ball Z is more popular than the original Dragon Ball.
100% more popular.
Probably not by like a ton, but like by enough to notice.
I know by a lot, dude.
I know a lot of people that have never even bothered watching Dragon Ball
because people didn't know about, because we didn't get Dragon Ball at the same time we got Dragon Ball Z first over here.
No,
and then we got Dragon Ball.
No, that's not true.
I'm pretty sure we got Dragon Ball Z first.
I absolutely watched Dragon Ball before Dragon Ball Z.
That's not literally true, but like I think
as a dub first.
Yes.
Really?
I think
absolutely.
I think for sure we got
at 1,000%. It wasn't on Toonami.
I found out about Dragon Ball significantly.
No, I used to watch it.
Children, I think children got access to Dragon Ball Z first, or easy access to Dragon Ball Z first. I think that's what happened.
Probably through Toonami, but it was on
through Toonami.
I can't remember if it was on 11 or 13. I can't remember what channel it was on, but because there was a handful of animes I would watch around 5 in the morning. There'd be like Dragon Ball, there'd be Ronin Warriors. Really those two. There would just be Dragon Ball and Ronin Warriors would be the only two things that were on like early morning on the regular fucking national television channels or whatever, network or whatever you call it. Fucking spent so long since I watched TV. Like but it was. I mean, I can just look that up real quick just to make sure I'm not Mandelaing myself. But I'm pretty sure I was well aware of King Piccolo and everything before he turned into Dragon Ball Z Piccolo.
I didn't know anything because I got introduced to it through video games, and there were just I only ever saw Dragon Ball Z video games. I don't think there was a single, like maybe there was a Dragon Ball game on like the fucking NES or something. I found out about
Dragon Ball way first. Dragon Ball Z way first. And I watched Dragon Ball afterwards, and I still think Dragon Ball's a better show. I'll still stand by that. I think Dragon Ball's a better show, better.
Well, as far as it's being written, sure.
But I think that Dragon Ball Z obviously is iconic because of fucking Super Saiyan.
You can say that about a lot of stuff, though, right? Like, the thing that you enjoy the most is not the best written thing, right? Like, there's a lot of...
The only reason I enjoy Dragon Ball Z more is the Gohan. That's literally because Gohan's my favorite character.
Oh, really?
Other than that, I prefer to watch Dragon Ball. And personally, that's me.
I like Gohan as an adult, and that's it. I think everything else about Gohan upset me.
I like Vegeta, and Vegeta's not in Dragon Ball, so I have no interest. But
Vegeta is goated, though, yeah.
And I like Piccolo too.
I just love, I always loved when it did restart.
I love a bunch of Dragon Ball characters. I'm capping on my ass. I'm talking on my ass.
When it did restart, though,
of them.
I loved just the simplicity of them preparing to fight Raditz. I thought that was so...
Getting their asses beat.
It was so grounded. I loved how grounded it was. I love how low their power levels were. Like, I love the origins of, that seemed like such a big fucking deal. And then to the point when Nappa and Vegeta shows up, and then, there's that... When Goku comes back from Snake Way or Road, whatever the fuck it was
Snake
called.
Way, yeah.
Then all of a sudden, his power level is so... Oh, my God, it's not even 10,000 yet. And it's just it's so cool. It's so cool. And then that's why what I was saying, and if anybody was upset talking about Dragon Ball Super, I just feel like, and my point was, that stuff feels like it's so unimportant, even though it's some of my favorite moments in the series, because it's just damn, that shit's nothing. Like you said, the kids of that series would beat the absolute piss out of any of those characters at that point, because the power levels are so fucking crazy now.
It's just a journey, you know. For me, I respect it for what it was. I think it's very funny that remember when they were training for the Saiyans, and everybody was getting their asses whooped. They were going through that nightmare dimension and getting beat to shit constantly over and over again. And then Nappa and Vegeta show up, and they were stronger than what they predict they were gonna be. And it's damn, dude,
Nappa was cool.
So unfortunate, man. That's and then Gohan had to watch Piccolo get killed in front of him as a 3-year-old. He had to watch his mentor get dead.
That was a very formative memory for me too. See, because that was the first cartoon where I think I saw someone die.
Oh yeah,
yeah, a cartoon, a cartoon.
It might be up
not
there for me.
I don't know if I ever outside of I don't know. Maybe a movie, you know what I mean? Like some I don't know, so Bambi or something. That doesn't count. It's a fucking deer. I couldn't care less about Bambi's mom. It's insane. but I remember when Frieza killed Vegeta on Namek, when the death beam through the heart. And he's crying. I was like, what? And I'm like, this is
that was such a funny moment for me, bro.
This is heavy as fuck for me. This is wild. What the fuck? And then it ends. And you're like, what the fuck? I have to wait till tomorrow to see what, and then it restarts.
How many times did Krillin get killed? Or wait, no, he didn't get killed the first time. It was just I was thinking on Namek.
3 times.
But on Namek, he almost got killed at one time when Frieza fucking bull rammed him. He got bull rammed.
He made it though. He made it.
He made it.
Then they saved
and
it.
then I vividly remember laughing when he exploded, because that is such an extreme way to die. Like, he literally explodes.
It was so not nice. It was so the
funny.
Funniest death was the death that was funniest for me was that Vegeta death, because Vegeta was being a cunt all before that. He was talking shit, because I really think Vegeta is watching a different show from like what Vegeta's experiencing and what we're watching was different. I think like his mind, it was a different thing going on, because he was talking shit the time. He was just like,
described a character. I think
he was just like he was like, I'm the shit. No one can fuck with me. I beat up Zarbon. I punched Jason in his face. I'm the fucking god. I punched Butters. I'm the shit. And then he's on the ground sniveling and crying, and Frieza's like, shut up, and just death beats him in the middle of him trying to have his final words. And I'm like, yo, that was so fun. He had just beat up Gohan. He was picking on Day. He shoved over Dende, literally, I'm pretty sure, like just a schoolyard jerk. And I'm like, this guy is so mean. Why is he mean like that?
He's so good.
And then you realize he's mean because he was a slave to the guy that killed his whole race. And I'm like, oh, well, damn, man.
Yeah.
You got it, Vegeta. Anyway. Maybe next time, buddy.
Good stuff. Good
shit.
Let me start on Piccolo. We got some best character in the series. I love Piccolo.
I think it was Jace. I think Jace is the best character.
Jace is the best.
No, Jace.
We actually have a good question. We have a good question. We have a good question here, actually.
Let's go.
Akira Toriyama is the GOAT. Rip wrote in. He says, in honor of the GOAT, anime creator passing, what are each of your favorite DBZ heroes and villains, besides Vegeta, because that's a given? What about your favorite moment from the series? Any cherished memory? We talked a little bit about that, but like I think favorite heroes and villains is a pretty good jumping off point. For me, it's Gohan, specifically Teen Gohan, and of course the Android Cell Saga as a whole. Yeah.
So hero and villain. Hero. Man, that's kind of. He's if he didn't say I couldn't exclude Goku, but I just do appreciate just Goku for being a mindless fight. Like he's a perfect like if he could have been a soldier, he's the literal perfect soldier, because he doesn't care about anything else other than just getting strong and defeating his enemies.
I disagree. And like, I think he's more depth than that, but he's
he's literally written that way on purpose.
But he has more depth than that.
No, he doesn't. He's written that way on purpose. He doesn't even fuck his wife. He's only he's written this way on purpose.
I think what
you're putting depth into him when there's no depth.
There's depth into Goku.
Okay, give me an example of him having depth.
Goku's nature is to see the better in people. That is his nature. He wasn't always like that. He became like that after he hit his head, but he does see the better because he's in.
When he was a fucking infant, you mean? When he was an infant, when he was going to be set to kill the fucking
because it's like if it was the infant when we first saw him get sent there.
He didn't have any personality before that.
Huh? Well, yeah. Let me finish. Because what happened is through the whole of his life, right? He's constantly been set that these people are villainous, evil people, right? He's like, this is a bad guy. Other than the Red Ribbon Army, they don't think niggas were evil. They were actually just Nazis. But most of the time, the people that he ran into, they were evil. They were his opposition. But he managed to talk to them and make them better people because of his nature of not being an evil murderous
Not
person.
On purpose, though.
I mean, but it still happened. It still
happened,
fought,
but not like so. But it's no. So there's no depth to him. It's just him being so ignorant to what these people are actually trying to do.
It's him being not genuinely kind. Him being like, I respect you as a fighter. You're a really good fighter. Do you have to do the fucked up things you do?
That's not what he's doing. Though he's just like If you remember most of his fights, he just really wants to test his strength. That's really what he could. That's why it's like, oh, here's Cell. Here's a Sensu bean. I want you at your best. Like, it's not about, I care about you.
That was for another reason either. Also, I think it's stupid because he wanted to show that Gohan could do it. I think that was dumb.
Think about Dragon Ball Super. Think about Dragon Ball Super.
No, we don't count that. We don't count
that. It's the same thing. I'm just saying.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Is.
Super, he's actually a moron. Super, he's actually a moron. He's genuinely like, I'm fighting just to get stronger. That's different.
He's not fighting to get stronger. He's fighting to test the best people. He's always wanted that. That is all he's ever cared about.
When he went to fight Frieza, because of the fact that he knew that Frieza was on his way to come destroy the Earth eventually. So he's like, I'm going to go to Namek and I'm going to try to stop him. It wasn't about getting stronger then. It wasn't that. When he fought Vegeta in them. He went there to stop them. It wasn't about getting
stronger.
I
remember, am I misremembering, but didn't he let him get to his final form because he wanted to test him at his best?
Yeah.
Am I misremembering that?
That was after the fight already started. He was like, you destroyed all these things you heard all my friends. I want you to struggle as you can so I can tear you down.
I think if you're like,
I don't think it's important, really. I think the point is like whatever his. I do look. I think
there's
he's
a little more
way
depth.
worse
He's not
in Super.
very deep. I'll start with that. He's not a very deep.
I think he's
way
like
worse
on
in Super.
I think it's kind of written like that on purpose.
But he's regressed in Super for sure.
He is a static. I don't know, man. Like there's, I look at Goku as like a great example of like how to write. Like you can write heroes in a way that they don't necessarily need to have these like massive arcs. You can just have a good person be good, and that's good enough. And I think a lot of writing fails now because I feel like we try to complicate everybody. And I do think that's not. I don't think it's bad to complicate people. I don't think it's bad to give other characters depth in fiction when they need it.
Goku, he's my favorite.
Right? No, Goku's great specifically because Goku's great specifically because of that. But like I think
that was my argument.
Yeah. But I think like there is depth there, but it's not like it's nowhere near as deep. Like when you compare him to Vegeta or Piccolo, it's not even.
For sure.
It's insane. The breadth of distance between them.
I just think the way that like. Who was more of a parent to Gohan, Goku or Piccolo? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you really want to examine Goku, he's kind of
his nature. His nature is to care about fighting because he's a Saiyan. That's ultimately like that is his nature.
That's fair.
I think
that's fair.
But his personality is of kindness. He's a kind person.
Well, what he
loves to fight.
No, but what he is, he's a man child. That is the way that he's written, to where that kids are usually like on average, they don't really know much about the world. They're usually just happy to be there and stuff, unless they got manipulated. But he's just like he doesn't really do things with Chi-Chi. He doesn't really work. He doesn't really contribute things. He's just selfish like a kid, but he's still nice. He's not doing it on purpose. He's not like, I'm an asshole and I don't care about you or anything. He's just I'm just going to do my thing. And I think that's great. But I just think that like, it's almost like when people try to interpret books in a way that they're not supposed to be, where I'm like, it's clear.
Yeah, but that's kind of the point though.
Huh?
That's the point of fiction though, is to interpret it.
I disagree. I usually I usually like, hey, I love interviews from the person that wrote it, and I want to see what their perspective is, unless they said, I left it perfectly vague so you can put your own shit onto it. And a lot of times it's not that. Usually they'd have an idea in mind, like, oh, I wrote it like this. It's like, I wrote Rorschach like this. I wrote like so-and-so like this, and then people like put their own stink on it. He's like, you kind of missed the point.
Rorschach would obviously be a fucking conservative, and he'd have guns, and it's like, no, he wouldn't. He literally hates all that stuff. Listen. We're talking
about. I would say I like that. I like that Goku is specifically written in that way, specifically because I do like that when he interacts with people, he changes them. I think that's like
that about him.
That is a great character attribute that I wish was in more places. Like I wish the Halo series tried that a little bit.
I think it fits with people who are not truly villainous. I don't think it works with every single person. Like, I think that works on a character like Arbiter. I think when Chief and Arbiter interact with each other and they realize that their values are very similar, I think that works. But I don't think it works for everybody, because that shit would not work for Nappa. That shit would have not worked for Cell or Frieza. You know,
obviously, it's not going to work on everybody. But the fact that it's possible, I like that.
I know. I love that it worked.
But I would say personally, I would say Future Trunks. Personally, if I'm not going for Goku, I would say Trunks.
Yeah.
In that specific version, when he pops up with the sword and he's just like,
he was too much like Blade for me. Kind of annoyed me.
I loved it. I thought it was so cool.
No, I do. Look, I like
Blade, but I can't like another person with a sword.
No, I have a problem. Like,
you don't like Black Wesker?
Yeah, that's dude. Don't get me started on that shit, dude. Don't get me.
We were screaming in my house when we saw that. I was like, "Is that really just Black Wesker?"
Lost my mind, and then I was like, the entire series, I was like, man, this shit is so fucking lame. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh god, everybody, stop making fun of this. We need another season. I need some more Black Wesker. And of course, you know.
We didn't be able to have it because he passed away too, unfortunately.
He might have been able to shoot it before he died, I think. When did Lance Riddick die?
It was a while ago.
Was it last year? Or was it 2 years ago?
Middle or late last year.
Yeah, I think he might have been. It would have been possible he could have shot it again because I wanted more of that shit, bro. I wanted more of that shit. But anyway, yeah, Goku's dope. There's a lyric from a band, Killswitch Engage, where he says like, through the humbled eyes of a child, like we'll realize true equality, meaning that there's something about the innocence of a child that really kind of disarms people, and I just feel like that's kind of like what Goku does. Where he's so like just unapologetically just carefree and just wants the best and blah 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 like that. So I don't think there's anything deep about that at all. But I love it. That's why I think he's the GOAT. And as far as bad guys, I love the Ginyu Force. I fucking love the Ginyu Force and Zarbon. Like I loved that arc. The Ginyu Force probably up there in like my favorite arcs. So like I would just go with Zarbon just because I don't know if he was gay or something. Like he was coded. Yeah, he was coded for sure. About it, like this guy rules.
He's non-binary at least.
There's something. There's more going on than I understand. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he's an allegory for body dysmorphia because he's like beautiful and then he becomes all fucking gross.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
You may be, actually. Somebody should look into that.
Whatever.
There's more going on, I will admit. Obviously, for me, my favorite is Gohan. Obviously, I think Gohan's awesome, great character.
He's a great villain, yeah.
He's... you could argue there's some villainous nature to him because how he chooses not to fight sometimes. He's like, nah, I'm just going to stay out of this. Tell everybody, if I just fought, I'd solve every problem. But, like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do every problem. I think he's a really good character. I think people are very hard on him for no reason. And I think people forget that, like, he's clearly a very traumatized person. You know, he's seen nothing but trauma in his life, and he's half human, so he's not like his sociopath alien dad. People are like, "Why does Goku do this?" It's like, Goku's an alien. Goku's not a human being. Goku's a human-looking person, but he's literally an alien. So he can trick him. So he can trick him into fighting.
Let me ask you something. How do you feel about? Do you think him being half Saiyan? Do you think that should have affected his power level at all?
I mean, no? I think it is that, like, I could be wrong. I know there's people, like, motherfuckers that go into, like, long detail about in the data book of this and that. And I'm like, I think what happens is that Saiyans, like humans, they have like fonts of energy. What happens is, I feel like Saiyans, they don't normally access their emotions the same way humans do. So I think humans are able to access more of their power through the ability to be able to regularly use their emotions better. And I think that's why Gohan can be so much stronger than everybody else. He has more potential than everybody else. I think it's weird that only he has it, and then Trunks doesn't have it, and then Goten doesn't have it, which I think they just never explored it for them. But it's very clear that the strongest character often is Gohan when he tries his hardest, or when he's pushed to that point.
Oh yeah, when he goes all like he loses his pupils and he kind of like just.
But what happens is I feel like his nature is that, like, he doesn't like fighting because he's seen his dad die in front of him multiple times. He's went to space and fought space Nazis at 4 before he started school. He got left in the wilderness and had to fight and survive for a year by himself. You know, I think all that shit really traumatized him.
It is crazy.
And then he also saw his mom be alone with Goten. And he's like, I don't want to do that to my wife and my daughter. I don't want to not be there for
I'm
them.
willing. I accept. Yeah, it bothered me for a while, but like I think at a certain point, like I kind of came to it. It's like, okay, I can accept the idea that like at his full potential, he is strongest, but like generally, like as a baseline, he's not as strong. You know what I mean? Like he can exceed.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah. Given that, dude, I love when they lose their pupils, man. This is my favorite. When Vegeta's like when Vegeta's screaming on Namek about the Dragon Balls being gone, and he like fucking flies
off. He comes out the water. That scene is hilarious.
And also, dude, shout out to the English dub because like it's genuinely good.
Have you ever watched Behind the Screams, bro? That shit is correct. Dude, the guy that was doing Trunks' voice passed the fuck out. He passed out in the booth. I was like, holy shit, dude.
That's when you know you gotta have like you gotta have proper, because it's like me learning how to sing better. I get to a point where I start getting extremely lightheaded, and I'm like, it's just letting me know my limitations of me being a novice. Versus, you see some of those opera motherfuckers that are doing shit that you would make your head explode, and you're like, dude, that is insane. There's levels to this shit.
They really went all out for that. They got like such a perfect cast, I think, and like, cause it's hard. It's hard. Like a lot of English dubs are really bad.
It's lazy.
They kind of have a reputation for being fucking terrible.
But I got to say something. 1 second.
Sure.
Because I think, shout out to, I think Funimation does a fantastic job. I think a lot of times, and I've learned this through watching so many dubs in other languages, I think where dubs also universally, like worldwide, get like the stink of why the Japanese, just the original, is so superior, because non-English dubs, when it's in other languages, there's like 2 or 3 people maximum. Sometimes it's one person doing everything, and it's the worst thing you'll ever fucking hear. And I think they're more referring to that than a lot of the English dubs that we hear. Because for a lot of the
Latin American dubs, bro, it's like genuinely 4 people.
It's like dude,
that's it.
There's Russian ones, like, and so because like a lot of JoJo would watch a lot of Russian dubs, and it was the worst shit I've ever heard. It was just like one person lazily doing it, and it's like, what the fuck is this?
It's not even the amount of actors that you hire. It's the quality of actors that you hire. Because I don't know if voice acting is as important elsewhere than it is here. Because even just like. And that's speaking from a place of ignorance, but it feels that way based on that specifically. Because like, oh, it's like 2 people in this English in this like other like language dub, and you can tell.
Yeah,
I don't even speak this language, and I can tell that that's the same fucking guy.
Right.
But like Goku doing King Kai's voice, I would have not assumed. I would have not assumed that at all. That Sean Schemmel was doing both of those.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Christopher Sabat's a little bit more obvious in certain places. Like Piccolo and Vegeta are a little bit closer, but even those feel like distinct.
Yeah,
and like, or at least like they did in Z. Maybe in Kai they're a little bit closer. But it's I don't know, man. It's strange. It's they did a really fucking bang up job with that English dub, to the point where like, because Dragon Ball was like the only anime that I had any really extensive experience with, I didn't understand what people had a problem with the English dubs. I just didn't understand. I was like, this is fucking great. What's the problem? And then I watched Naruto and I was like, oh.
I hate how every teenage anime character, the main character, is voiced by a woman, bro. That shit bothered me. It started really annoying me when I found out everyone was voiced by a woman. I'm like, oh, well,
that's true in the English, or not in the Japanese dub of
Dragon Ball,
not the Japanese dub, but
just the original.
The original Dragon Ball, where like adult Goku is played by a woman.
That is one specific reason why I could not. There are some where like the voices are so annoying to me that I'm like, I'll just wait for the dub. Like I can't do it. I'm somebody who has. Because I also feel like in the anime community, a lot of people think that overacting, chewing the scenery, as they call it, or whatever, means good. And in a lot of animes, because there's so many animes playing in my house, because my roommates are obsessed, and they have this giant fucking thing in the living room, and a lot of it, I was like, this sounds fucking. It so doesn't match what's happening. But it feels so powerful, and I feel like people are like, this is clearly better. And I think, well, that's the culture, that's fair. But over here, if we did that, it would be like, what the fuck are they doing? And it's something that I've noticed and I picked up on quite a bit. Or saying, you know how there's just certain tropes. And it actually kind of, I don't know if you guys saw Godzilla -1, where it kind of, the acting kind of seeped, and the vibe of anime seeped into that movie, and I actually thought it was kind of interesting.
Well, because -1 is straight up Japanese proper. That's what.
Well, but what I mean is, there's Japanese, just regular fucking cinema, and then there's anime, right? There's a difference between like because like say people in real life don't yell and scream in regular movies like in a way that you do in anime. There's a completely different vibe. But in some of the dialogue,
I feel like Japanese dialogue is common throughout anime and Japanese media that I've seen, at least, because that's just their like that's why they write it and perform it the way they do.
the reason why I don't agree with that is because of Like I've watched. At
least from what I've seen, like I don't watch very much Japanese media. I don't absorb much Japanese media that isn't anime or movies. But I've watched
from what I see, it's just not that. Like it's not like look at it's there's when there is like say there's no one's powering up and like say I'm trying to think of like a recent anime. I've watched
Kamen Rider before. Like I used to watch Kamen Rider for years, and that's live action. They would act like anime characters for the most part. And I don't know if that's the point of Kamen Rider. Like I think that's why they do it as Kamen Rider.
Probably. I would think so because
I feel like that's natural to the fact that they make their media like that.
I think you're a little biased in that because it's just there is like say for example, imagine making a war film, and that's kind of exactly what -1 is. That's why it was actually kind of interesting, where all of a sudden the soldiers are fucking screaming in this anime style of dialect where nobody would, like this, it's just going over the top, yelling longer, doing things like it's way more colorful in the language. And so it doesn't really translate to that in the real world, especially if you're talking to Japanese people. They don't obviously talk like that, right? So in a real setting, when you're trying to make a grounded movie, you obviously wouldn't do that. But I thought it was interesting in some scenes in -1. Loved the movie. I fucking love that movie. But in some of the scenes, I was kind of laughing because I was like, all right, you guys can kind of calm down a little bit.
Did you guys see Shin Godzilla? Did you guys see Shin Godzilla?
I didn't see Shin
I didn't see that. I didn't see it.
Because I saw Shin, and Shin felt like an anime too, and I was like... But
it was also
made by the person. It was also directed by the person that made Evangelion. Granted, as well.
Godzilla is crazy, but I was expecting...
Godzilla's crazy.
It's insane. But -1 had a very... Go ahead.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but like it's not like they're making Schindler's List but Japanese or something, you know what I mean?
Dude.
Like they're making a giant fucking monster is parading through the streets. It's going to be a little bit more fucking crazy, but like I haven't seen -1 yet.
Dude, that shit is so sad.
I just never
the idea of Godzilla is such a sad situation because like imagine after the nuke and all that shit, then that happens. That's so fucked. That is so fucked up.
Yeah, like, they got bad luck, man. They got bad luck.
We lost part of our culture. We got pacified. We lost our army. What can go wrong? And then a gecko comes out the water the size of fucking 8 buildings and it just destroys the city.
If I ever have a kid, I think my goal is to convince it that Godzilla happened.
Why?
Dude, I like that a lot.
You know what kind of terror? Because think of it like this: if you think of Godzilla being real, nothing we use works on him. So you're just gonna give your kid this one being of absolute terror.
No,
that he's just it's over there, but if it comes over here, we're done.
No, I'll just be like, I'll just tell him like, yeah, we got it. We got it, but like he don't worry about it.
I can't wait to see the mess of children you're gonna have, bro. I cannot wait to be like, damn, bro, your kids are shaking outside looking around, just shaking, afraid of everything.
I want them to be afraid of the world around them.
I'll be like, yo, dude, that kid's not gonna live long, man. Look at him, he's scared.
Respect.
What about villains, Kingston? What about villains? My favorite villain is Cell Jr., obviously.
Cell
My favorite villain is Cell, because Cell's a huge piece of shit. Cell is a...
I like that snake bug Cell when he was all like
that was cool.
Like put that penis tail in you and suck you up and shit.
I think Dragon Ball Abridged did a good job on a lot of stuff, but they excelled at the first form Cell. First form Cell with him was because he was just sexual. He was drinking people. When he put his thing in Piccolo's arm, he was like, wow, that was tight. That was a tight fit. And I was like, this guy is so disgusting. He was so fucking funny.
They made him a little bit more villainous in some way.
And then because he was sexual. That's why I was like, yo, stop, dude. Like, chill out, bro.
There's an extra layer of sin. Like, because as first form Cell, he just kind of feels like a monster.
He's a creep.
But in Abridged, he feels like a
predator.
Like, he feels sinister. Like there's a sinister aspect to it that like a bear chasing you in the woods isn't sinister. You know what I mean? Like that's just a beast doing what it does. But like Cell drinking you and saying that's tight is fucking crazy.
Yeah. Like, imagine if Smokey the Bear is saying some really fucked up stuff to you as he chases you. Like
as he chases you through a burning forest.
He's calling you slurs and he's chasing you. He's like, I can smell the chicken on you, Blackie. You can't get away from me. I know exactly where you are.
And he's so fast. He's so fucking fast.
He's running on 2 legs twice as fast as a bear can run on 4 legs.
Do you guys? I know you guys exist outside of this. I know you guys exist outside of this sphere of the internet in a lot of ways. But like, do you guys know who Linkara is?
Of course, I know who Linkara is.
I don't know.
Of course, I lived with you. Of course, I know who Linkara is.
Oh yeah, well but Derek, do you know who Linkara is?
The name is so familiar, but I can't.
So okay, so Linkara is this. He was like a nostalgia. He was like one of these people who was on like the Nostalgia Critic website. It was like a Channel Awesome guy. He did like I think movie reviews of like old movies or something. I don't remember exactly what his shtick is, but he's kind of like. He's one of those people. He makes content that's it's a little cringeworthy. And every time I imagine someone running fast, I think of this video. And I put it in the chat right now. Everybody listening who knows what this is going to know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know this video. I totally know this video. Okay.
That's crazy.
I love this video. That's Smokey the Bear coming at you. Is this like that is so inconceivably fast, dude.
This is
like the footage that is behind him in the green screen that is meant to sell the illusion of him running fast is scary fast.
They are just accelerating at you, and you have no clue what to do.
That is like 80 miles that's like 90 to 100 miles an hour.
Like there's nothing you can do. I like he's just even got the hat
up
too.
Dust behind him. You just see a dust storm coming at you. And you're like, no.
But what's upsetting about it is that he's running at that speed, but how he's running doesn't make sense.
Right, because he's not running if you've seen what was it? Kung Fu Hustle. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Yes.
Where they're actually like their arms are like they're actually like moving so and then it's just like like Looney Tunes type shit.
The Sonic
that movie's
blur,
so
dude.
fucking absurd, man. I love that movie.
Do you think? Oh, okay. Here's the thing. Okay, we're gonna interrupt real quick because I think this is really funny.
Turn your notifications off, by the way, you son of a bitch. It's like the third one. I'll kill you.
Sorry,
my
side host giving birth.
Oh,
my apologies, but
okay. Congrats.
That's gonna be.
I'm sorry.
Have fun, but what's it called? So there was this thing, right, where there were like 3. So there's these groups on YouTube. These like these streamer groups. There's one called RDC. They're like those black guys that make the anime content, right? And they were like, there's 7 of them, and they were like, can RDC beat a jaguar in a fight? I did not know that jaguars can kill alligators in the water. That is something that really humbled my understanding of the animal kingdom to an extent, because apparently jaguars are the most deadly big cat. Like, there are big cats that are bigger and stronger than it.
They're extremely strong. Yeah.
But jaguars are the most
they're versatile,
dangerous.
right?
They're
because
like
they can swim, right?
They can swim. They can
like
climb,
really well.
They're fast and they're really strong. They're like the Ryu in all the stats of like big cats. Where like other cats do things better, but nothing does everything as well as it does. Seeing a jaguar pull a crocodile out the water made me so depressed that I was just like, it just invaded, it just European his home. It just went in its home, was like, oh, dope, this seems like a nice place, let me have you, and just took him out the water and went off with him.
Do you feel bad for the alligator?
Do you think there's any way that the 3 of us could kill a jaguar?
No.
I think if we work together, I think we could.
I think it's possible.
Do we have tools?
Tools, but no guns.
So what kind of tools? Like
sharp tools, blunt tools.
Okay. Yeah, I think we could figure something. One of us will die probably.
I think we're gonna have to sacrifice someone.
If I can have like a Zweihander, I would feel comfortable being able to defend myself because it might pounce and just slice itself in half. So that is the only chance I have. Other than that, even if it's like a shorter sword.
Do you think you can swing a Zweihander correctly enough?
Absolutely. I have one.
So you think you're just gonna, or would you just do the hold out and just kind of stay there like that?
I had a guy, one of my followers. He's a bladesmith, and he made me his Vihander. He's like, hey, I want to make you a sword.
You have one?
And yeah. Now I haven't seen it in a minute, so I haven't oiled it up in a while. So I'm kind of sad when I go to storage. It's probably gonna be rusty, but I oiled it up the last time. But anyway, he just fucking made it, and I just paid for the shipping. I was just like, bro, like, can I pay? He was like, just pay for fucking shipping. I was like, okay.
That's crazy.
So and it's heavy for a sword, obviously, but it's not unreasonably heavy. It's not unreasonably heavy. It's not like I can't fucking handle this.
The way people describe, like the way I play D&D, and the way people like the way they weight the weapons in D&D is so fucking crazy.
It's horseshit.
A katana is not 5 pounds. That is not a 5-pound weapon at all. It
would
like
be so
2
unusable.
to 3. Exactly. The people that would use them would be so like, think of how big a Japanese person is. If they were swinging around a 5-pound blade the way they do in real life, their arms would be yoked. It's like
totally.
It's like 2.5 to 3 pounds for a sword. For a long sword, like a regular long sword, is like a little over 3 pounds, less than 4 pounds.
The
modern metals we have too.
Whenever I see that in a lot of RPGs, they always get that wrong. You get weighted down so quickly, and I'm thinking, do you understand that just a handful of swings cleaving into something, you would already be you'd be useless. Your arms would be noodles.
You would literally throw your arm out. You would swing the sword and you would dislocate your own arm. You'd be like, "Wow, that's crazy," and you would go about your day.
It's fucking absurd. It's like when you swing this Vihander in Dark Souls, the representation of it, I'm like, how heavy is this fucking blade? Because it crashes to the ground like ka, like. Like, you know, like, or that fucking in Dark Souls 2, that fucking Final Fantasy, that ultra heavy sword.
Oh my god, the big old blunt sword, the one that looks like Guts' sword.
Stupid, yeah, it's so stupid. You can kill the shit out of anything with it, though.
So I think, like, if I had like a big Warhammer, I think I could get lucky enough to get one good donk on the head of it. But I don't know if that would kill it.
I don't know if I would
disable it and then set it into a fury, and it would go berserk, and that make things worse.
I don't trust blunt weapons enough in a scenario like that. I would trust a small dagger over like a big fucking hammer.
You'd want to get
hammers
that
are so funny because the idea of hitting a bonk on an animal and killing it is crazy.
Yeah, but it's not as reliable as like a blade that you know will cut at least. You know what I mean? Like at the very least. Hopefully, I can like maybe cut a big slit in this thing and maybe crawl inside it where it can't get me.
That's cool.
You know, like
a fucking parasite. You cut it and you're just It's like trying to get you out too, and you're just already inside of it. You're already. I think
I am small, nimble, and fast enough to potentially
Chris,
maybe.
You cannot invade the animal before it can kill.
How big is a jaguar?
Chris. That is preposterous. I'm
sorry. If we're all fighting, I thought we were. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you had abandoned me. I thought we were all fighting this thing together.
We're still fighting.
Well, he's already dead.
You're not.
He's already dead because he tried to swing a fucking mace at it or whatever the fuck.
No, not a mace. A warhammer.
So you swung a warhammer.
You cannot.
And then it backed up, and then it clawed your face off.
No, I'd wait till it goes in the air or something like that, and then I would just swing down.
And you might crack its rib.
Swing down with all my... Because the hammer's so blunt that it's like the kind of blunt where it's like splat.
Yeah, but Kingston, it's so heavy. It's so heavy and slow. You're being chased by you need a dex build for something like this.
Nah, dude.
You can't go in with a fucking hammer.
Dude, the force of that thing pouncing on you. I just don't think, like,
it's outrageous.
I'm
it would hit
me
and it would knock down my chest.
I'm banking on the velocity. The velocity of its pounce will help me cut it. You know, with this giant, will cover a lot of ground. That's what I'm hoping on. But let's be real. I think we would all easily lose.
Yeah,
I think we would easily lose.
You guys would lose
because I think first and foremost, none of us are capable. Like, I don't think any of us have been hurt to the point where we would get slashed and we wouldn't immediately go into shock. Because that's the big thing, right? You gotta be able to take a hit.
It's true, yeah.
That's the thing.
I've
been hurt really bad,
greatly,
but not in a long time. So I won't get slashed and be like, can keep fighting. I'm not a warrior. I'll get slashed and I'll be like, and I'll fall down and start crying.
Yeah, something that like completely opens you up. That would be kind of, like I had my fingernail ripped off in a fight. I didn't feel it at all. But, like, it's different if claws, like, take off a chunk of your meat. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm like, I'm sorry.
None of us are going to be like, none of us are going to get hit and be like, I'm fine, I'll wipe it up later. No, we're going to get hit, and we're going to start bleeding and get dizzy.
Yeah, no, I'd probably just run. I would for sure just run.
Yeah,
I'd run away.
Trip Kingston and then just
you guys are fucked.
You wouldn't have to. Well, let's be. You wouldn't have to. You wouldn't have to trip Kingston. Kingston's getting the Jaguar's catching.
Yeah,
Kingston.
I'm not athletic anymore.
Kingston is not fast.
If I was in good shape still, you guys would be in trouble because I'd probably be about as fast as your size and my size. But when I was younger, when I was like now, I'm be like, yo, just run, guys. Hopefully, it'll take long enough to kill me.
When's the last time you've sprinted? Because I was thinking about that the other day. Because like I've done like a 5-point something on a treadmill, but that's still not like my maximum sprinting speed.
Sprinted? Oh my god, I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
like last week, I think. Actually,
maybe like
no, you didn't.
Yeah,
and what?
Maybe like pre-COVID.
Like I mean like sprinting, like where you're pretty much reaching your maximum speed.
Yeah,
like
yeah, max speed. Yeah.
Why?
Pre-COVID.
I go on walks a lot, and then like sometimes I'll walk around at night, and then I'll just kind of want to. I'll reach a point where I was like, I just want to get home, and so I'll sprint.
Instead of just jogging like a normal person, you'll start sprinting like a maniac at the middle of the night.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's privilege right there. If me or Derek did that in the middle of the night, dog, we would get a stray.
That's not privilege.
We would get a stray bullet from somewhere.
Get away.
We would get a stray bullet from somewhere. Just, why?
Just some fucking
they wouldn't be able to hit me.
Out of their window just happens to have their gun right next to them.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I got scared. I feared for my life.
I was in the opposite direction.
They would not. You assume that they would be able to hit me, which is crazy. They would not.
Okay, Sonic.
Being able to dodge bullets, it's crazy.
I am. Listen. I think some friends of ours can attest to this.
Okay.
I am unreasonably fast for somebody who exercises very little. And would
you say you're faster than Jalen?
Yeah.
Really, you're faster than Jalen is?
Jalen. Yeah. I don't know how fast Jalen is. But
I remember we raced when do you remember this? We literally did this.
I don't remember you guys racing, but I know because Jalen is the fastest person. Well, no, he's not fast. I know one person that's faster than him. One person that's faster than him. But Jalen is one of the fastest people I've ever met in my life. Like Jalen is like
he's just a little slower than Usain Bolt.
I know
really
at
fast.
one point.
A little
I know
slower.
At least at
that's
one
insane.
point.
Because a little slower than Usain Bolt could be way slower technically, or not at all.
It's still so fucking ungodly fucking fast.
Usain Bolt was so fast that people it wouldn't make sense his speed of running, because when you take off, you're supposed to be at your fastest, but he would get faster during the run, and that's not how running works. Usain, you're doing it wrong. And then he broke his leg because he was too fast, literally. He ran so fast, he broke himself.
I'm more than sure if I tried to sprint at my maximum speed right now, I'd hurt myself. Easily pull. I would pull my groin. I would pull my groin easily. Like, because even at, like, say, because I was on the treadmill running 5.6 or something, whatever, just putting it all the way up.
Yeah.
And I'm going, but I'm not, I don't want to try to max it out. That's dangerous, right?
Not at the gym. You don't want to get hurt at the gym.
Well, dude,
I was getting a cramp in my hamstring already. I was like, "Fuck."
We had to do sprints for training for the boxing. Like there were periods of times where we would have to sprint. And I remember my coaches telling me, it's like, "Oh, you're pretty fast. That's weird." And I was like, "What?"
Weird.
Yeah, because they just didn't expect. Because I told them, it's like, "Oh, yeah, I don't do much of anything." And they're like, what? My main coach didn't understand really, which was like pretty cool. I'm not like faster than like Usain Bolt or anything. It's insane. He runs like 25 miles an hour or something.
Probably a little faster than that.
Like
probably
nearing
a little
30. Like
he's probably closer to 30.
Yeah,
that's so upsetting. That is upsetting.
It is so stupid.
But yeah,
seeing
I
him
remember
run made no, because dude, it'd be other fast people next to him. That's what makes it even more insane. And he's just outrunning them, and I'm like, what in God's name is wrong with this? Why is he so
his
fast?
top speed is 27.33 miles an hour.
Insane.
That's fucked up.
Was that the record? Is that the record for the fastest person of all time? It is, right?
I don't know.
Because I think somebody beat his record. I think someone beat his record eventually.
Yeah, probably just some random fucking African, just some guy that's just like,
no, it was probably Jamaican.
I can get money. Speed. I can get money. I can bring a little bit of money back to my village, and he just fucking smoked his record. He just didn't even like. Oh, well, I wasn't even trying. He's
the thing that's
freaks.
The thing that's
so
scary.
Fast.
The thing that's scary about sprinting and being fast is stopping. Really, like stopping is kind of that's.
You gotta pedal it. You gotta pedal it down, bro. You can't just.
You have to.
You don't just.
No, you have to. You have to pedal it down, but by nature of like slowing down, you're destabilizing yourself.
Yeah.
So it's
Can
like
we test
it's fucking.
That, though?
It's
just. I've definitely seen it. It doesn't work the way you.
Just try to stop. Just try to plant your feet. That would be so good.
Stand up.
Dude, I think your head would explode if it was concrete. You just fucking.
I think you'd really not be in a good stance. I think we're laughing at it, and then we'd see that, and we'd be like, "Yo, that's so unfortunate. The condition that guy's in right now."
Yeah, it's like it's my one physical attribute that I have that is like a good stat advantage. The only one. I have nothing else.
Fast. Until and I still don't know what's wrong with me to this day because it's so hard to deal with doctors and like people where I thought something was wrong with my back specifically. So whenever I would try to get things, this was in when I was 16, I was doing spring training for football, and I thought somebody hit me and nobody was around me. Something tweaked. For the longest time, I thought it was my back. So then they would do X-rays on my lower spine. They're like, "You're fine, pussy." And then it got to the point where I realized that it's actually what do you call it, the hip or something on the left.
One of your flexors?
Something's wrong there, and it's still as we sit here, I'm always in pain, like every second of the day. But I just live with it, right? It's just I'm like whatever.
You're like Jalen with his knees. His knees are always hurt. I do think Jalen would be faster than me if his knees didn't hurt him.
He has lines, though, that's why.
Okay.
Right.
So
like that's right. I think is what hinders him.
Okay, that makes sense.
Is that he's in physical distress whenever he's moving.
So you just like live with it. You just live with the pain, right? You just deal with it.
I was much faster some of my size. I'm probably still way faster than some of my sizes. Like someone is my size, probably not someone as fast as I am. But when I was thinner, I was way faster, and I was just a fast, pretty quick dude. Like I was about as fast as Joe. Like I think Joe was faster than me still because he's small, but I was still able to like keep up with them. Like when we played football, no one will be able to like I could get people.
Yeah, there's a strange advantage in being small. I don't even understand how that works really, because like logically, like I would think that like the larger your stride is, the faster that you would be. Like that just seems to make sense. But like I've kind of found that makes sense, but
it doesn't. I've seen it be the opposite several times.
I think it's more about the strength in your legs versus the mass. Like say if you have less mass to move, but you have like pretty strong legs, and you probably do, just by I don't fucking whatever, that you can just move pretty goddamn fast. It is interesting seeing giant people your size that are in the NFL, Kingston, that are ungodly fast.
And I'm like, why can you move like that?
It's actually frightening. It's frightening seeing something that big move so quickly, because you're like, how? Like, you think, well, I know how. They're all on drugs. They're all on performance enhancing drugs. Like they're literally injecting steroids into their lower back where it hurts, and then the muscles heal there. And yeah, like,
fine, look, jackpot.
I'm great now. And then they just run where everything would have broken, everything would have fucking popped, and everything would have been fucked up, and they do that every week, and they're fine for the most part. It's fucking bullshit. It's like they try to act like the sports aren't clean, but you have to not be clean to be able to handle that shit. Little fucking basketball player, how somehow they have knees and they play 82 games a season. Somehow their knees aren't grinded into dust, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm fucking like, okay, yeah, like you're not like a LeBron James is almost 40. And he's just like, oh, we're going to believe that this guy's not on every fucking drug that gives him an advantage to stay healthy?
That shit is crazy, bro. The ones that are legal and the ones that are not legal are insane to me. This is like, bro, you're just using shit. Like, just
just fucking make it all just regulate it. Just make it legal so then it can just be, and then people can regulate and they don't have to hide this shit. Some asshole gets suspended for like fucking 8 games for getting caught, and then he's right back to cheating again after. I'm like, what is the point of this? He just loses some money. Like,
literally the way that shit happens is insane. Like, all you gotta do is just simply like.
And give me the drugs and make them cheaper. God damn it!
I would love it, bro. I would love it. I would love if there was better surgeries for people's like bodies. That'd be so perfect. People would just be like, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna get the surgery and be fine now."
Dude, we're gonna be fixed like when we're older, though. That's what I know. I've mentioned this before. Like I always say, just like when people talk about AI, they say it's never gonna be this bad ever again. Meaning that it's only going to keep getting better, right? It's only going to improve. And the same way, I think old people of today are not going to exist when we're old. I just think it's not going to be a thing anymore. Other than the people who reject like science in general and they don't want to be touched by anything, there's going to be those people. Yeah. Like I remember in Mass Effect, there was that whole thing where there was that one green ending that you could do in 3. There was like almost the secret one. There was like blue, red. There was blue, red. And what was it? Blue, red, and then I think there was you could just kill yourself.
I don't remember.
Anyway, there was a secret one where everybody would kind of just become transhumanists, where they would just accept the technology of the AI, the Reapers, and they would all become higher and better beings. But then there was a whole subsect of humans that are like, "Oh, you guys are freaks." Kind of, it's almost like what's happening now with the what were they calling themselves? Purebloods. Oh, I didn't get the Pfizer. I'm a pure blood. And I'm like, this is Mass Effect. I was like, it's happening.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't become a transhuman.
You wouldn't become like better, but like you're you, but just better.
Dude, I can't wait to die, man.
It's almost like it. Oh, okay, well, fair.
I can't wait to die, bro. I've been trying to come to terms with that shit for a while, and I'm like really getting there. And I don't want to be here much longer, man. I'm trying.
What's your beef with suicide, though? What's your beef with what's your beef with that?
Oh, like I'm not trying to kill myself, but I'm trying to die eventually. You know, like I'm trying to I'm gonna do my time. I'm gonna do my laps, and I'm like, all right, that's it, and I'm out.
I love that. That is a great quote. I'm not trying to kill myself, but I am trying to die, though. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good quote.
That's it. Like, good. I'm too pussy to kill myself, but I'm really trying to die. If you're trying to help me out,
yeah.
Like, I'm definitely too scared to do it to myself, though. I'm really scared.
I've definitely been at points in my life where I'm like, I guess I'll skydive. Because, like, whatever. Like, if something goes wrong, like, whatever, man. Like,
yeah. That's actually good. That's a good one.
I'm not going to throw my life away because I've made fun of people doing that too often. And I don't want to be a hypocrite in that sense. Like, I don't want you guys to be like, yo, Kingston talking about these motherfuckers getting hit by trains and falling off buildings. Look at this motherfucker that went and fucking tried to fucking hug a bear in the fucking exhibit. And look at this idiot.
Yeah, but he's an idiot because he thinks. But he's an idiot because he thinks that's a safe thing to do. Like that's what's stupid about it. He's like, I'm gonna be fine after this. It's the hubris of it that's stupid. If you're skydiving and you're like, yeah, honestly, if I die, I die. I don't really, not really thrilled with anything at the moment. Watching, so like,
I saw an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he was like, he fell out of a building and his parachute wouldn't open and he hit a car and he was fine. And I really thought for a while that if you hit a car when you jumped out of a plane, you wouldn't die.
I mean,
you would blow the fuck up still.
Listen. Hold on. This is not 100% untrue. Cars do break people's falls in a way that helps them survive from like falls that you would believe would absolutely murder them.
But if you're skydiving, when you hit the ground.
Skydiving, yeah.
When you hit the ground, it's game over.
Dude, I saw this video of some lady jumping off like a fucking genuine like an 8-story building. And landing on a car, and then apparently she like survived because the car broke her.
Yeah,
like it's the same. They crumple. So like they impact a lot of, and it's not normally enough to save you, but sometimes it does.
The idea of somebody falling off a skyscraper and landing on a car and being like, well.
You imagine that's your car though? That would piss me the fuck. That would be so. That's a Seinfeld episode where somebody jumps off the roof of the hospital and lands on George's car, and he tries to get them to pay for it.
Or you know what's even funnier? In superhero movies where they're fighting and like the superhero picks up your car and throws at the villain and he misses. And you're like, you didn't even hit him with it. You just threw my completely car for wasted. No fucking reason, dude. I don't even know where it's at. I don't even know where it's at, Thor. You threw my car, I don't know, into the ocean, maybe. I can't get insurance for that. There's no Thor insurance.
You remember 2008
would there be, though?
If it depends on your level of insurance. Like, if you just have
liability,
it probably doesn't work.
In New York, there probably is. In New York, there probably is.
In New York City, in the Marvel universe, there must be Avengers insurance.
Yeah, you're stupid if you don't get it. It's probably that, though. Like, you got to pay extra, sure, and
Premium.
You're an idiot if you don't have it because it's so obvious it can happen. You remember 2008 Incredible Hulk? He uses a car as boxing gloves, essentially. He has gauntlets.
Well, no, it was a cop car. He used a cop car as gauntlets, though, right? Wasn't it a cop car?
Oh, so it's just already out of the city's pocket, fucking Hulk. God damn
Dude, you could do that in the game, too.
Fuck you, Hulk.
Yeah,
you fucking asshole.
That was so fucking cool. Hulk's, what was it? Hulk's Ultimate Destruction?
I loved that game.
And you could, like, pick up a car and, like, break it in half and wear him as gloves. It was like, this is sick.
I thought that was
this
cool.
is awesome.
I thought it was cool, but I was like, aren't Hulk's hands stronger than any car possible? So why is he using a car?
It's silly. It's silly. It's just that it's literally just player expression. That's all. It's just like, I feel like doing this,
1,000.
and so let me do it. If my Hulk wants to wear, car gloves, he's gonna wear car gloves. I'm like, that's so cool. What a weird idea to just develop and push into the game. Make sure like it reaches deadline, It
was the same thing when Majin Vegeta. It's one of my favorite scenes when Goku, like, cause he's strapped, like he's strapped on the rock, and whatever fucking Vegeta's just talking shit or whatever he's saying, and then Goku, he fucking breaks out of it, and he has the rock, the stone on his arms, and he fucking punches Vegeta with both of them, and it's such a cool scene, but also that rock is like cookies to them. Where it's like just punching Vegeta in the face would be way more effective, but it looks cool as shit. I'm gonna see if I can find that scene. I love that scene because I don't even remember because I think that's when Vegeta just starts talking all of his good shit about this is what I did and now I'm stronger than you, and he's like, actually you're not stronger than me. And he turns into Super Saiyan 3, and then Vegeta's all crying.
You gotta drown. I would just drown people if I was if I fight somebody in a CBC worse. I would just get somebody in and start drowning him. That's it. And everybody's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm gonna drown this guy. I'm just gonna hold him underwater long enough till he dies. But it wouldn't work on like Frieza and Cell because they don't have to breathe. So of course they don't have to breathe.
They don't. Frieza doesn't have to breathe.
Of course they don't have to. Of course Frieza doesn't have to breathe. Of course. Why would he have to breathe?
Kind of fucking alien
evil.
Now, have you guys seen? Now I know we're talking about Akira Toriyama, and we're or not right now, but like we were. Because there's some people obviously who are. There's always going to be somebody with some kind of problem, no matter how beloved the person is.
Let's hear it.
They just say, well, it's Mr. Popo. Everybody's like, oh, well, he made this fucking racist character.
Look, dude.
And so, like, how could you possibly revere this man?
Can't be goated without that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You can't do great things without having one racist character under your book.
I don't know, man. That's so fucking silly to me.
Look, man,
that entire thing.
It's distasteful, but as a kid, you absolutely I didn't know what that shit was. I was not that learned at that point to know the history of blackface and stuff like that. So, and by the time I
don't think people in Japan are either.
Oh,
which is why I don't think it's think it's based on blackface at all. I think it's based on probably some fucking Hindu god or something.
It's totally possible. I mean, but in the same way, let's say Mexico. My friend, he had some Mexican comics, and there is a comic book that is based off of blackface, and to them, it's just a thing.
Oh, right,
It's not even like. I think I might have showed you guys a long time ago.
Yeah, I think you texted it to us. I think at some point.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What was it? Do you remember what it was called?
I remember what it was called, but I sent it to my cousins. They were like, "Oh yeah, I heard of this." And I was like, God
oh, yeah, I heard of this. This is all casually. Oh, yeah, I heard of that.
Old.
All right. Let me see. I'm trying to get to that part where... What? Oh, wow, it's a whole... So I'm looking at the scene right now.
Memin Penguin?
I think it is.
Is that it?
Memin Penguin.
That sounds right.
Oh, shit. Yeah, this is bad. This is actually fucking...
And to them, they're just like, oh, whatever. It's funny.
This is what people think Mr. Popo is. which is, a little concerning.
All right, here we go. I'm going to send you guys this. Is so fucking absurd. I love this so much. I'm just going to send you that just if you guys don't remember that exact scene where just how the rocks are bigger than I even remember. If you just got to go to 2047. I'm going to send you this link right now. Just a refrigerator. Like I remember the rocks being actually like more just on his fist, but it's actually they're almost like wings. It's so much bigger than I actually remember.
2047?
2047, yeah. And then he just punches the shit out of Gino. It's so fucking silly. I just thought that was so cool though. But yeah, that's Hulk with the cars.
Oh yeah, they are so big. Yeah.
What makes it insane? What makes it insane is that Vegeta. Vegeta's Chris's height. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Vegeta. The way Saiyans are built, like even the kid ones, they have so much mass on them. Like Goku's like 5'8". Like he's about your height, Derek. Goku's your height.
You think
and
so?
He's 5'8".
I thought Goku was tall. Really?
Only 5'8", dude.
That does not seem right at all.
Vegeta, I think Goku's 5'7". I think Gohan's 5'8".
Goku seems tall to me.
Goku is 5'9".
Oh wow!
According to Google,
I would have put him at like
Twitter.
Shit, I would have put him like 5'11". He's only 5'9", huh? Interesting. He's always looked so much taller than me. Who?
Vegeta's 5'5".
He's 5'5". Huh. Goku's only 5'9". Well,
Goku's not a big guy.
I mean, all right, fair enough. For some reason, I've always thought him to be like closer to 6 foot.
It's also how like Nightmare from Soul Calibur. It's like Nightmare from Soul Calibur. Nightmare from Soul Calibur is 125 pounds, and I'm like, no, he's not. No, he's not even slightly.
Like without all the shit on him, I guess.
Dude, there's no way. There's no way Nightmare is 125 pounds. Like, I don't know. They're measuring wrong. That's all they're doing.
I think the sword itself, that Soul Calibur sword, is just 120 pounds, 25 pounds on its own.
People are just I hear that and I'm like, that's not true. Like, I understand what y'all think.
Soul Edge or something?
Yeah, Soul Edge.
Is that sword called Soul Edge?
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody has
some pounds. Like, no, he's not. This motherfucker is at least 200 pounds, at least.
Where did it say that? That doesn't even sound like. Why would somebody say that? That just sounds like someone's trolling.
Yeah, so right here it says Goku and Gohan are the same height. I know that's definitely not true. Gohan is taller than Goku.
Is he? I guess I never really focused.
As an adult, he is.
I guess that makes sense.
They looked about the same to me. I never really noticed.
Yeah, but to be fair, the heights in Dragon Ball are really
they don't make sense.
Like Vegeta used to be like 5'5", but there's some shots where he's clearly the same height as Goku, and it's like
he used to be very slim too. He used to be very slim.
Vegeta was much more he got. Well, I think during the Cell Saga, everybody was beefed up. Everybody was broader than they normally were.
They redrew the fuck out of for sure. But like, compared to Goku,
Super Saiyan, he was huge.
Because Goku was still pretty big. Like, look at Kaioken, Goku, beefed up.
Kaioken and Super Saiyan, he was big. He was a big guy. He was a very big dude. And then obviously in the Cell Saga, they trimmed down. They went very big on muscle. It was a lot of like striated muscle. And then in Dragon Ball Z,
I remember. What was it, Super Vegeta, or like where he was like ascended or something, and he got like fucking beefed the fuck up.
Yeah,
just like you
guys
he
remember
ripped
that
Android
weird
19's arms off.
Oh right.
That shit was crazy. What was it like? Does a machine like yourself ever experience fear? Fucking insane.
That was so mean. That was so
it was really fucking cruel. But also, fuck Android 19, fucking Xi Jinping looking fucking idiot.
Xi Jinping.
Dude, when somebody photoshopped him like that, I lost my fucking mind.
That was the no, it wasn't Xi Jinping, it was Kim Jong Il, I think, or Kim Jong Un. One of them.
Is it Un? You're right, you're Un.
I know I have Kim.
Just look it up, it'll pop up immediately.
Android 19.
That shit's in my phone. Like, I have that favorited.
Yeah, dude, it's so fucking funny.
That's the one where he's clapping, right? And you can see like the fucking, you can see the button on it. That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing.
It looks exactly like it's just
that is
accurate.
A wild visage.
The fact that piece of shit made an android look like that too. You're like, what is wrong with you, dude?
Oh, it's a little racist.
What's wrong with you?
It's a little racist. It's a little racist.
It's just like it's such a crazy design.
Dude, the funniest part ever is when Vegeta gets his arm broken, he just holds his arm and just looks up. And then anything kicks him into a rock. And I was like, yo, that's so fucking me. Yo, Vegeta gets really abused a lot in this series, man. He gets like straight up just the most mean shit happens to him. But I think he's a mean person. I think that's like Toriyama being like, look what happened when you're an asshole. The world is an asshole back to you. But it's like, dude, he didn't deserve all that, man. She broke his arm, bro. She broke his arm and he couldn't scream. He was in so much pain he couldn't yell about it. And I was like, yo, damn, dude, that must suck. But also remember when you beat up a 4-year-old? Remember when you beat up a 4-year-old when he helped you get back to a safe planet? Remember that when they wished you back to life and you immediately fought a child? And it's man. Damn.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
I like in the Frieza side, like when they all come back to life, and then Vegeta runs up to them and he goes like, and then he disappears.
Yeah,
he gets like teleported somewhere else.
He flies up to them and he's like, what are you doing? And he's gonna grab
That's right. Okay.
It's so funny in retrospect because he just kind of like flies up to them hoping that he can do something, and then it just teleports him away.
He's like, Frieza, I've gotten so much stronger. I can probably beat you now. And they're both like, Vegeta, no, you can't. Like, just get out of here, Vegeta. Like, you're not where you need to be yet. And he's like, yeah. And he's just.
I will say, was it in was it GT or Battle of Gods that Vegeta kills? Because I can't remember. I feel like there was a moment like that where Vegeta killed Frieza or something.
It was Resurrection F. He beat up Frieza.
He was about to, yeah.
But then Frieza blew up the planet. And
right,
then it got rewound and Goku just killed Frieza in front of him. He was like, come on, bro.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on, dude. Why would you take that from me? The Super makes me so angry because like I really don't think the character of Vegeta would have been okay with Frieza fighting alongside him in the Tournament of Power. I really don't think. I think Vegeta loathes Freezer. He really hates him. Like really hates him.
You said Freezer with a hard R.
He did. It did. And
I thought that was his name when I was little. When I was little, I thought his name was Freezer.
You couldn't have.
And I was like, yes.
Wait, what's his dad's name? Isn't it something like close to that, like General Cold or some shit? What is his name?
King Cold.
King Cold's his dad, and then his brother's name is Cooler. And his aunt's name is Frost.
It's so goddamn stupid.
I love it though, dude. Like,
it's such a dumb name scheme, bro. But it's funny.
I love it. It is.
There was a tweet that was going around that was like, this guy really just made a show where everybody's named after vegetables and underwear, and everybody took it 100% seriously.
Chi.
He likes food. He likes food. He likes women's body parts. He's a big fan of underwear.
It's fine. It makes sense. It's funny. I don't know, man. Anyway, let's get a couple of these questions and we'll get out of here. T-Boy Joe Biden's boy pussy wrote in. He says, "Hey guys, how does it feel knowing you guys killed the creator of TBZ?" It is weird. Look, we talk about Dragon Ball, I feel like, kind of regularly, but not necessarily to the extent that it wasn't a coincidence that we had talked about it literally in like a previous episode, and then it had he might have died while we were doing the episode.
Can you imagine?
Like if the timing lines up based on like when it went live.
He died the first.
Oh, did he?
He died the first of March.
I rejected that because I didn't even I looked it up and I was like, I'm not even gonna it doesn't track with me because the world found out yesterday.
That's true. Doesn't mean it's when he died.
So even that's when he died in my canon, and I'm not even going to accept the first as a.
I didn't know when Hitler died until a few minutes ago. So Hitler died a few minutes ago.
He just died a few minutes.
He's been alive the whole goddamn time, just in that damn bunker.
That's fucking insane. Hey man, he might be in Argentina right now as a fucking like 100 something. I don't know. You never know.
I feel like that's the kind of motherfucker to live long too.
Yeah, I mean, fucking, a lot of the worst Nazis lived long, lavish lives in Argentina and South America. It's fucked up.
They lived like kings, dude. That's why you go to Argentina and like there's a bunch of brown motherfuckers and there's this one stark white motherfucker and you're like, what are you doing here?
I think I might have told you guys that I bought a motorcycle in 2011 and I bought a helmet off of Craigslist. The guy that I bought from was almost 7 foot. Long blonde hair, and I couldn't pinpoint his accent. I was like, "Hey, dude, where are you from?" So I'm from Argentina. And I was like, "Of course." I was like, "Of fucking course you are, you fucking Nazi." He's so big.
You relocated to Argentina. You're not from there.
You're not from Argentina.
How old was he?
He looked like he was. Can you imagine? Stop. He was like one of the OGs. He was I mean, I'm sure he was absolutely a descendant. He looked like he was probably in his 30s. He was probably in his 30s.
That's how when people like I this is mean. This is very not nice. All right, this is petty as fuck. Being a boxing fan, right, and people being like Mexicans loving Canelo, and I'm like, you guys love Canelo so much. You know he's a conqueror, right? Have you seen the way he looks? He's a conqueror, and everybody gets so mad because I love making fun of Robert Canelo because of the fact that I think he's way worse of a boxer than people give him credit for. He fought Floyd when he was way out of his prime, and Floyd Mayweather beat the fuck out of him. He beat the shit out of him, and everybody forgets that fight. And I'm like, yo, no, Floyd beat his ass when he was
Canelo wasn't
well
his
out
prime
of his
either.
prime.
To be fair, Canelo
wasn't his prime. He was definitely in his prime still.
I would love to see prime both of them go together and I still believe Mayweather would win. Just like
it would be a sad fight.
He stopped a prime Ricky Hatton and like absolutely like so.
Exactly.
I agree, but I still wouldn't. I don't think that's a like 1-to-1 like as far as like him being in his prime. But I do like the idea of. I love that. I like the idea of him being so white, so ginger. That's what's so funny to me. Like I obviously we know why, and just like say being in the United States, it does. You know, it doesn't. We get it. We
it doesn't
understand.
Matter. It doesn't mean anything, literally. But like, it's just funny.
You were born in this country. Sure, your nationality is Mexican, 100%.
Also, he's grown into a very respectable boxer. Like, he was kind of obviously the young hotshot dickhead, but he grew up into like a very, like every fight after he has a fight with somebody, he shows him nothing but love and respect. He's like really nice to his son. He's like, hey man, it's okay to cry. Don't worry about it. It doesn't make you a wimp or anything like that.
Hello,
and
I'm Canelo Alvarez. Hello. Hello, my name is Canelo. His voice is so like, hey, hello.
Abre la puerta. Abre la puerta.
Like, why is your voice so high, dude? Like, why is your voice so high? I know you're on steroids. What's going on?
It's because how Hispanics, when they speak Spanish, opposed to how they speak English. That is like every person that's a first language is Spanish. When they speak English, they sound way softer.
Hey. But then there's the radio niggas that are like, bueno.
Tell him to say hello. He'll be like,
hello. 8, 9. Fucking Mexican radio.
Toriyama is forever a legend for having the shortest and baldest and weakest guy pull Android 18.
Facts.
Just read that on Twitter.
He gave hope to a lot of like people who thought like there is no hope. And it's like, well, look at Krillin, man. He's busting nuts and gears and shit.
I don't like people will be like, I can't. Someone just like this is one of my somebody I follow today. He's like, I still can't believe anyone thought Mr. Poe was supposed to be a black person. What black person do you know wears a turban and has a Kami 12s on? I'm like, look. He is literally black. like he literally is black.
He's the
like
shade
I understand. I understand.
He's not a black guy. He's black.
He's not a black person, but that's a black person. You know,
it's a black creature.
It's a black creature. There you go. It sounds funny.
I don't know what the
sounds funny. But.
I don't know what the hell. I don't know if it's like even a. What is he, like a demon or like an angel or something?
Yeah,
he's a god's attendant.
Yeah, but like what? Is he though?
That's all he is.
What is Mr. Popo based on? Hold on. What is Mr. Popo?
Nigga.
based on fucking
species negroid.
Based on what was that tap dancing bitch? What's her name? Wearing the blackface?
Oh my god. Freaking what's
was
her
it
name?
Shirley Temple?
Shirley Temple.
Is it Shirley Temple? Is that the right one I'm thinking of?
There's a mole cracker in my soup. Monkeys and rabbits.
Spook and spooks. Animal nips in my
Dude, when they showed her the scene where she first has the blackface on, you can tell she knows she's doing something wrong. Like as a child, she's like, Mom and Dad, this is not gonna age well. Can you please not? And they were like, put that fucking makeup on and go out there and dance.
Put that fucking makeup on now, before I beat you again.
Dance and make us money so we can drink it away. Go ahead and
that's crazy, dude. When did she die? Let's see.
Yesterday.
Shirley Temple died last night alongside of Toriyama.
That'd be crazy. Two legends.
And they found her with blackface on. Like they did a suicide pact on with fucking blackface.
Toriyama died dressed like Mr. Popo.
He's dressed like Mr. Popo. That'd be so like fucking Mr. insane. That would be the craziest thing ever.
So, that makes
will be correct?
A lot of sense.
He was based off of. Okay, go ahead.
He's based on apparently. Hold on, wait.
Shirley Temple.
His name is Mahakala. Is a deity common to Hinduism and Buddhism. Mahakala, god of time, creation, destruction, and power.
Ah.
And if you look up pictures of this guy, it's kind of crazy because it is just
okay, yeah.
It's kind of shockingly Mr. Popo.
Mahakala.
So he's like why does he look so evil? Like the god of time?
Oh my god, yeah, that's Mr. Popo for sure.
I wouldn't want that nigga to be around me at all. Like you're like, oh, what time is it? And this dude appears like, fuck, I don't care. I don't care anymore.
That nigga looks like a Pokemon.
It's 12.
It's 12 o'clock.
That's all he's snarling like a fucking savage demon.
Dude, he looks fucking
trying to
terrifying.
tell you the time.
Like his eyes are like wide. He's so mad. He's so angry.
What makes it crazy is I think what happened was the first African that went to India was a black guy with 3 eyes.
And then they
were
just
like,
drew this dude.
Mahakala.
This
and he
is
just
what
knew
I
how to
saw.
tell time. He just knew how to tell time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, he had like
that's exactly.
Dude,
he is scary, man. He is actually terrifying.
Like there's ones where his eyes they're so wide. He's so like
it is really amazing.
He's so like try to do that. You have to really be angry to be like
he looks like Chef. He looks like Chef to me a little bit.
Oh no! Why would you say that?
That's crazy. I mean, that's you, man.
I don't know why.
You got some demons.
Just because of the way he holds his hands up, like, "Hey, children," it's like the hands.
I did not get Chef from that at all. But like, I mean, listen, man. Like, if you have certain internalized things that you have to process, that's
it's not internalized. It's in fact externalized. I'm telling you guys about it. Hello, children. What time is it?
What time?
Yeah, I'm McCall. I got a time. See? Push it to the hydraulic press. All right, let's
come here, Carmen.
Yeah.
See?
We didn't get to a lot of the a lot of the questions are basically just telling us that we killed him. To be fair,
whoa, that's so nice.
That is what a lot of them. There's one somebody. We'll get to this one, and then we'll go. It's not a question, but a clarification. It's one that I think everybody knows, but just to clarify for some people who might be listening and might not know.
Sure.
We mentioned it earlier that Goku's voice actor in Japan is a woman, and she sounds very much like a woman. It's not like she's putting on a male voice or anything. He goes, "Hey boys, Toriyama passing reminded me of you guys saying you didn't understand why Japanese Goku was a girl. I didn't say I didn't understand. I said I didn't love it. I understood why.
I really don't like it.
Well, I'm here to bring that answer. Toriyama himself chose her when he was looking for during the audition for the original Dragon Ball. She apparently gives off Goku's hick energy and accent incredibly well. Love you boys, rest in peace. I always assumed it was like to give to make it clear that it was like he was childlike.
Yeah, exactly.
In nature, like he was still like a good-natured kid or whatever. Which is fine. Like I get it theoretically, and even as I watched some of the Japanese version, like I did get used to it, but I still like Sean Schemmel is like Sean Schemmel's that guy to me.
Do you know how I found this out? I found out where we had a knockoff. I don't know what this was, a Japanese cartridge of. It was like a Japanese Super Nintendo. I don't know what the fuck this thing was, but if you had to, if you
like
took
a Super
off
Famicom?
probably. And I've never seen it before when I was a kid, and I was like, what the fuck is this? But then you could alter, do something on your Super Nintendo that would have it work. So you were able to play it, and it was like jailbreaking it essentially. And that's when we're like, oh, sick, we have this fucking fighting game. And then Goku sounded like a whiny little fucking woman. And I was like, I can't play this.
I remember when it was Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22 was the PS1 game that I played that I remember. And it was all in Japanese. Like there was no English option available.
I think that game I don't know why. Fucking mess. I remember playing that game. That game was so confusing.
It was weird.
It played how a little kid's nightmare of Dragon Ball Z would go on. You just barely any control. You don't know what's going on.
Final Bout was way worse. I liked Ultimate Battle 22 was like, it was a mess, but it was like at least like a stable mess. But like Final Bout was fucking unreadable. Like early 3D, not very good. They were at least still using sprites for Ultimate Battle 22, and they had that cool cheat code that you could put in the start screen, and then it would become Ultimate Battle 27 or something, or 28, and you would get like 5 extra characters.
Dude, I remember that shit being so confusing. I remember seeing that and being like, what's Dragon Ball GT? I'm still watching Dragon Ball Z. What's going on?
Yeah, I thought GT was
happening?
I thought GT was like a fan creation thing or something. Like I didn't know it was original or like real. I thought it was just fan fiction or something because I was like, what the fuck is this baby Vegeta?
Baby,
It's not even a baby.
This is bullshit.
It's not even a baby. It's a grown ass man.
So what I put in the chat, I'm pretty sure it was this. This is the one that I had. And because I remember that cartridge, and I was like, this is fucking weird.
What is this? What is this called? Dragon Ball Z
Hyper Dimension.
What? Hyper Dimension.
Yeah. I just remember the cartridge, like that was on there, and I was like, I can't play this. Like, it was just Goku. It just. I still not. You said you got used to it. I still haven't. I don't like.
Yeah, I mean, I got okay with it, but it's not my preferred. Like if I never sat and was like, oh, I can't wait to see the new episode, so I'll watch it in this. I was like, no, I was always going to wait for Sean Schemmel and Christopher Sabat to do their thing with it.
I've always waited.
Yeah,
even when I'm like, fuck, I want to watch some of the Super. I was like, fuck, I want to watch Super. I was like, no, I'm waiting. I watched Super in Japanese. We watched it.
We were doing hosting like watch parties every time it came out though. So we watched in Japanese at our house.
Yeah,
but I hated it. I couldn't. I was so thoroughly like I was so because not only did I not like what was happening in it, like I didn't like what the story was. Because it's just like, oh, remember those movies that you already saw?
Right.
We're gonna do those again, but slower. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Just do the movie. It's dumb.
That's how I feel about the manga. The manga, they did fucking Dragon Ball superhero over again. And I was like, why? And now finally now Goku and Gohan are fighting in like Ultra Instinct Beast mode. And I'm like, this is really, really cool. We could have been through this a long time ago and already saw the conclusion. But I guess we're there now.
Ugh. Yeah. It's time to wrap it up, man. He's gone. Let's
It's not often. Look, it's not often that when someone dies, we would dedicate basically an entire episode to them. But I think this is
that is insane. This is the first time we've ever done this.
The fact that there is enough there to do that.
We're not even done. There's still more we could talk about too. That's what's crazy.
We could talk about there could be a part 2. There's so much bullshit.
We even get into Chrono Trigger and shit like that. Like that is a whole other fucking masterpiece.
I know Sandland is coming out too. So like, there's a whole bunch. Maybe if he dies again, we'll do it. But rest in peace, Akira Toriyama, a goat, legend.
Yeah.
And let's move on. Let's get the fuck on out of here.
All right.
We're gonna read our $25 and up patrons over at patreon.com/snarktank, where you can go over there and get ad-free early access to certain things and exclusive shows.
All right, bud.
That was fucking scary. I think I saw something that really unsettled me, and I didn't let my eyes focus on it with what you were doing.
That shit happens to me too often. Like when you're watching something that's supposed to be scary and you don't focus your eyes, so you're like, I don't really know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. I'm not really scared of this. It can't scare me.
I'm watching.
I do that sometimes when I like when I made fun of that fucking pronouns guy, that fat British dude, and then like after the quartering got to it, a bunch of this fucking retarded fan base just poured in my mentions. And so after a while, my eyes just started just glazing. I was like, I'm not even reading this shit anymore because it just gets like tired. I'm like, yeah, I get it.
I'm surprised those fat, greasy retards aren't talking about how Akira Toriyama died because he was woke or something. I'm surprised.
They probably are.
Wokeness killed Akira Toriyama. Yeah. I'm gonna check the quarterings page.
I could see that. I could see that happening easily. But
I wish
anyway.
the quartering was just. I wish the quartering got a spirit bomb dropped on his house.
That's crazy.
Just like.
The quartering's not even close to the worst of them.
He's not, which is the worst part. But he's the leader.
That's actually terrifying. That is terrifying that he's not the worst, but he still does a lot of damage. What
a rat! But let's read the
yeah.
Names.
Let's go.
Count me down.
3,
Count me down.
2, 1.
Miguel O'Hara's trans mask pussy, and that's it. That's our show.
Very cool.
We lost all of our patrons. we lost all of our patrons. When Akira Toriyama died, we lost everyone.
Can you imagine?
Lost all of our patrons. Like, what do we do?
When people try to...
What do you do is the...
yeah, he's good. This fucking nigga's good. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fucking whisper in Colin's ear and be like, hey, man, you don't need Dustin. You don't need fucking...
That's so fucked up. You don't need Dustin. You don't need Lockhart. You don't need Lockhart. You don't need Mika.
He's just trying to
get his wife.
Just mispronouncing everybody's name. Just to... Said Lockhart and Mika. This is like an alternate fucking reality.
You don't need any of that, man. You know you do need Derek. You don't need Derek and I.
You need there's not enough niggas on your podcast. You know, it's not enough. You got to add a few more.
Yeah, I know your wife's black, but so what?
It's not a good look, Colin. It's not a good look.
We would have to.
She's light skinned. What do you mean?
Hopefully that doesn't happen because I wouldn't be good. I would have to figure something out too as well. It's a big. That would a big deal.
Drastically change my trajectory of like, oh yeah, I'm moving over there, guys. I'd be like, oh
yeah,
never mind.
I'd probably get the fuck out of here.
I would have to go back to school and become a nurse very fast, fast. I have savings, but I'd be like, yo, I gotta go to school right now and become a nurse. We got like
type up.
We got like 4 months before things get scary.
Yeah. All right, let's keep on going. Cracker caught lacking. Just call me Crack-a-lackin'.
Very cool.
Gay NB, wait and bleed.
Gay NB.
Oh my god.
I felt the cum rise up in me or something or some shit.
I felt their dick. I felt their dick up in me. Kneel down. I'm queering on my knees. McJackal, 18 naked cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch. Cytherea's conjured a squirt sword using Sween's curtains to wipe the sun cum off him. How do you make names longer? It won't let me. Thanks. Jack. The world's fastest Maori. Love you guys. I did not make a 10-hour video of iCarly. Clinton reviews.
Clinton reviews. Stupid.
That would be fucking crazy. Here's a 10-hour video about I don't know, a State of the Union.
Yeah, me busting on some fucking bitch.
Here's an 18-hour video about my cum.
God, enough. Get so many emails. Forcing my cancer-riddled son to use his Make-A-Wish to keep David on the Snark Tank. Big meaty things. Andy the man whose handies are S tier and dandy. Akira Toriyama's coming on corpse. I could have gotten a tattoo of anything and chose fucking Rise Against. Heath Smoker, Chris's Progerian, and dwelling vestigial twin wanting him to stop eating Chipotle. Yu-Gi-Oh! Cringe gay cum. So stupid. I wish she was pooping on my Pippa. Homeless trans femme who comes. Actually, that's only with a deposit of 300 or more. Lumbago Bussy, Lil B the Bass God asking Selma Cash Money for feed pics on Twitter. Dead serious. Weezer, my name is Jonas. I'm your fucking dad. Or I'm fucking your dad. SpongeBob, Piss Pants, Mr. Pants. When things look gay and your ass is up against the wall, your whole existence seems fucking homo. It's loser baby, you bitch. Baller of the first sin, spum befudders, gay offspring be like, open his fart box, reach inside. I'm gonna suck on this fucker's cock because I got a gay habit. Jolly old dipshit. Imagine faggins. I'll swallow you way down as far as you can go. Swallow you way down till you fill my throat. The real Souls boss is my crumbling nervous system. Topher laser pistol. Cyphergraph. If Chun-Li had a penis, I would suck it vigorously. Too mad. 6 under. Jumper by Third Eye Blind. I wish you would just give me some head, my friend. You could get by without the eye that I put semen in. I sell drugs to children. Lily.
Cool.
That's such a simple one. I love that. Lily drinking a fat glass of piss at 2 a.m.
Facts.
They call me hostile takeover with dude butts and gay covers. I makeover post-mortem cum shots at the funeral on him. And as always, rounding out our list, Sweeney's superpowers being confidently wrong. Back to Tank of Cum. Caucasian container, the Cracker Barrel for gays. Donald Trump burping out Dom's click. Chris wearing earplugs in bed to roleplay being deaf and blind. Marty O'Donnell's running for Congress as a Republican and went on Fox News praising Trump. Oh, that's so funny. I can't wait to see that. Oh, that's going to be so funny. Marty O'Donnell, the composer for Halo. Or the old composer for Halo.
Really?
Oh, that's so funny. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it's really bad. That on stream.
That is so funny. The Possum is the only empathetic person from Long Island. Soy Chris y me gusta verga negra. Spirit box, more like Spirit Cox. My partner just bought an entire PS5 to play Helldivers 2, but we're homeless. Just the hard R.
Just give it to me.
Star Coffee. So Irish, my Gramps is buried with a sniper rifle. Gay Blade, I like that. Ghost Whisperer, Jennifer Love Hewitt versus Clientless JLH. My son froze to death in the wastes of Ohio by going homeless to pay you fucks, and this is his memorial. Rip John.
Thank you.
Transfem Gremlin. Exposing people with lactose intolerance to 90 million rods of ionizing radiation. Yush, not Vinpen. Craig the Canadian. Food of porn is peak porn. Anyone who disagrees is an asexual piss drinker. It's your boy Shawnee D. Edward Sigma, the Rizzler. I live in Philly, and everything you guys said is true. I just saw a horse running down I-95 all by itself. Keith David voice. You're listening to 98. I can't do it. You're listening to 98.3 Smooth FM, the classiest station in DC. Next up is I Can't Open My Car by Alicia No Keys.
Alicia 3XO. No Keys.
That's
joke.
Almost a dad joke. That's at 3XO and the unfortunate death of Akira Toriyama. Rest in peace. Mexico in shambles. Slurping, stroking, smoking, joking. Emoticons going like this. Drip MH, Lord of Homeless Drip. Fuck you, Patreon. Let me put punctuation in my name and suck my tiny hairy balls. Obi won't you blow me. Jackson Vernon, Norwegian game dev paying so Derek cares. Tom, this is Kayla. Leave me and my fucking family alone. I'm a big dog, big fair. I'm a big dog, big bear, fellas. I'm a lion. I'm gonna steal your bones. You wouldn't download a car. Come on, boys. You wouldn't shake. You won't. Come on, boys. Won't you shake a poor N-word's hand? Abby, T-boy, Joe Biden's pussy.
Very cool.
Joe Biden's boy pussy. Party up tune. Y'all gonna make me ride a man up in here. Y'all gonna make me leave my girl. Wage Slave 583, a sad guy from Michigan. Also, maybe some of you masturbating. Also, one of you with your ass in it. Maybe someone butthole showing. The Papini brothers hold Derek's engraved glasses. Chris's audio remote and Sween's foreskin for ransom. Donkerson installing a faulty Neuralink in Chris's head that plays Thunder on repeat. You got to pay the troll soul to get in the boy's hole. Gade 6, man plus man equals gay, woman plus woman equals gay. Both are half gay, ergo man plus woman equals gay. You're gay. Chris is so small he eats grapes with both hands.
That is fucking tiny. That's so fucking small.
That's a really good joke. I like that. That's almost like that has like a Mitch Hedberg quality to it.
Kind of,
like, not exactly, but like that's such a dumb silly joke that like I like that. That's like a rat. Like rats would do that.
Smaller than a rat, probably. With both hands.
Because I don't even need I don't even need an apple with two. You know what I mean? Like apples are way bigger than grapes. So like that's nuts.
I guess like a rat, a mouse, maybe. Yeah, I guess that kind of tracks.
Maybe even smaller. Like maybe a fucking maybe like a stick
of
bug.
You picking up a fucking grape and beating
Remember when they did a surgery on the grape
that's so big and they're eating it with both their hands?
Do you remember that when they did surgery on a grape? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was like a meme for a while.
So stupid.
I just saw a picture in my phone randomly where that fucking dude from in prison had that giant wide neck. His neck like looked like a fucking stingray, like in width. And somebody photoshopped the grape on top of his head like doing the surgery, and it's the stupidest fucking thing in my phone, probably by far. I was like, why is this?
Oh man,
why do I have this?
Yeah,
those are good times, man. It was before a lot of dumb shit was going on, you know.
I have so many videos of people saying the N-word saved on my phone. It's insane.
Yeah,
it's insane.
I don't have any stupid. The stupidest thing I have on my phone isn't an image. It's simply me telling people how I feel. What kind of name is soap anyway? What kind of name is soap anyway? You some kind of Muppet? Cock-ass cheeks sensei. Help, fuck. An evil lesbian. Hope Alone 6, Enter the Homoverse. A shit so nice I had it twice. John Strickland. Finally, a mason jar big enough to fit the Chris Ray gun U2's in. Mercs 1889. I really hope Red Dead 3 is the story of the Calendar brothers. I don't think there's... I would be surprised if there's going to be a Red Dead 3 personally, but...
I can see it like in a distant future.
Those writers are just gone now. So like I don't...
Oh, really? They don't work anywhere?
They left, I think presumably like a couple years ago. I assume the script for GTA 6 was already finished, so like that's still probably going to be kind of a banger. But yeah, I don't know about the future of that company as far as like story goes. We'll have to wait and see. First Church of Keith David singing Sagalaga Booba Magica Booba Flibbity Flibbity Boobs.
Very cool.
Such a dumb. I really hate you specifically. I feel like you should leave.
Like, keep your money.
You gotta get a better. Like that's an annoying thing to say on a deep level. Second Church of Keith David featuring Being Better Than the First Church of Keith David. Agree. Pre-Roz. I'm just playing. Blake 896. People really like Asterix and Obelix. Bruh, it's literally just a small junkie and some fat fuck. Getting laid for mispronouncing that one African country, a little dick rag, lost my job at Kohl's because they caught me playing with the mannequin's boobies, Alaskan oil field trash, Texas tater salad, Chris, oh my fuck, dude. The amount of text messages I'm getting now because of all this shit. Like
what shit?
The voting. Oh. Voting, like your opinion matters, vote. Good afternoon. It's research polls. We're conducting a study. Get the fuck out of here. That's the fifth one I've gotten since I started recording.
They want to know how gay you are. Just answer it.
They want to know how gay you are.
God, if I respond, it makes it worse.
Hey, pussy.
Last Oil Fields tracks. Texas tater salad. Chris gave me a burp fetish. Sue Hulk. Tickle my ass hairs. Nicky Ziggy. Kingston's dad. Wicket 909. Jackson DuPont. Man, he's finally showing you some support.
Holy shit, my dad's back.
Here, son. Here's $5 here's $25 every month.
Here's $5, child.
He'll make up for it, in about 30 years. That'll probably be like all the...
Think of the interest. Wicket 909, Jackson DuPont, Badly Brave, Hugger Derek, Duck Cunt, The Vegan Necromancer, I Got Consent, Aetherian, Brogerian Punter, Melphis won the angriest crowd enjoying the view from the Dealey Plaza, and as always, on the 6th floor, and as always, rounding out our list, is the king of haphazard. He's like our George Soros.
Yeah.
You know, like he's like our Rupert Murdoch. You know, like King of Haphazard is the one pulling the strings behind this. He's really the one behind all this whole operation.
This ship would have sank a long time ago without him, man. So
without him, yeah.
Shout out
to King of Haphazard. Yeah.
All right, everybody.
That's it. Let's get the fuck on out of here.
Give me money or give me something. Go to my, it's my birthday, remember. Give me something in the DMs. Something good. Don't give me something weird. I should really preface this.
Just cock pics. Yeah, dude. This dude's dick looks like Wesker's arm after he got infected in Resident Evil 5. It's just a bunch of veins swirling around.
Send me gay Disney porn. Because I'm gonna send it to my homies.
Gay Disney porn.
My long friends from way back in the day, like I send that shit to them all the time. So if you can find some bangers, I appreciate it.
Imagine I like to imagine that they have kids and they're raising like a 6 or 7 year old, and then they check their phone and it's like, oh, it's my childhood friend, and it's just Gaston getting railed,
getting fucking destroyed by fucking King Triton. Because it's usually shit like that. It's usually crazy shit
with no context.
Just getting blistered by him. You're like, this is insane.
Bro, I found one of King Triton fucking getting domed by Sebastian, and I fucking died. It was the funniest shit.
It's me, Sebastian. Suck my dick.
You want some head?
You want some head? Yeah,
sure. Bye, guys. Bye.